What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into all of our games tomorrow. We have quite a bit, and again, they're all just based off of metrics. And then as far as tonight, I wanted to do a recap of tonight, of course. So we didn't have a bunch of plays today. I tried a hockey play. We're just getting acquainted with that. The Stars did not go over, so the Stars weren't lined up for us there, but we'll figure it out. Like I said, I'm basically just betting metrics, so I'm not doing anything too crazy with hockey. I did close Grand Canyon. That one's definitely going over. And so, again, that's a 7-unit loss. But as you could see in the last day or two, if you just followed, the 7-unit loss is more than worth closing out rather than chasing. And then we did get Mount St. Mary's cover. That one I didn't pick off any metrics. I picked that one simply because it looked like a trap. Again, it was kind of weird that it was a 1-point game. Mount St. Mary's was the favorite, and they were just on paper way worse than Niagara. And then we missed Wyoming covering. So we have some leg 2, leg 3s to plug in. This is tomorrow. Villanova covers Providence is the only one I picked because it looked a little odd to me, and I could be wrong. I was just scrolling through these, looking for any that jumped out, and I got the Villanova and Providence. And again, I don't know the teams, but I do know what seems to be trap metrics, and ranked 24th at home here, and a much better record. Only 4-point favorites. I find that unusual, so I like Villanova with the 4 there. Outside of that, they're all metrics. So I got Green Bay covering Youngstown State, that one. And then, again, some of these are early, some of these are later. But if one of these loses, you can just plug in a leg 2 for that loss. Or, like in my case, I'm going to look for leg 2s that we lost and plug them in. But I do like Green Bay to cover. They're really bad on the cover. Rice, I like them in West Kentucky to go under because they're teams that just have gone over a lot this year, specifically Rice. So I think that one goes on under because eventually they have to start going under. And just to clarify, that is under. Okay. And then we got Stetson, FGCU, same thing. I think that goes under. It's the same principle. They have not gone over. You can see I'm doing a lot of leg 1s because we don't want to just rush leg 2s and 3s. I only want to do them for the ones that fit the metrics the best. Speaking of, we got Stonehill at Central Con, and that one I do think goes over. So again, all we do for that one is we look for a leg 1 loss and we plug it in. Okay, so Cavs cover Sixers. I forget when that's from. I guess I had that the other night. Didn't happen. So we're gonna plug Stonehill under in for that leg 2. And that's all I do for all of these, and that's why it winds up balancing out because we only need to win 7 of these sequences. So Stonehill, Central Con, I like that to go over. So our next leg 2 is I do like UAB to go under. They're playing Texas San Antonio. They've gone over a good bit themselves. And since all of these are leg 1s, one of them will most likely lose. Now, some of these games are earlier in the day, some are later. Okay, so for example, some of the games I think Tulsa's a later game. That's a leg 3. I could be wrong, but some are like 11 and some are 10 at night. So for the later games, if you see it as a leg 2, you could just plug it in for a leg 2 that lost earlier that day. Like I said, I have a plethora of, not a ton, but I have a decent bit of leg 2s. I would say about 5 open. So I could plug my leg 3 in for any of those. You can see scrolling up, I've been closing them all out. So I've been doing that for a reason. But you'll find some hanging chads. So that's what I do. But anyway, we'll see how the leg 1s go. And yeah, for the leg 2s, again, I like the UAB Texas San Antonio to go under, as well as Rice and Stetson. The only difference is this one I like as a leg 2. Virginia Tech, I like that cover because Pittsburgh is getting close to 80% on the covers. And not that they can't do it, it's just, again, it's usually high 70s. So I like it as a leg 2. That Pittsburgh gets covered. I also like Georgia State to cover Arkansas State as a leg 2 because Georgia State's getting really low on the cover. And again, we've never really had this many teams where they were in the low 20s or in the high 70s. So I just think it stands to reason. So Tulsa Temple, since we did lose Wyoming, we're going to plug that in right here. Okay, that's going to be our leg 3. And again, Tulsa, they've burned us a lot this year, but I play the metrics. Okay, so I'm not going to say, oh, Tulsa. There are outliers. I'm not saying there's not, but I'm just going to ride with them since again, at the end of the day, the metrics balance out. Notre Dame, speaking of metrics, 24%. And usually for your more notorious institutions, this is not the case. So them flirting with dropping to under 20, which a couple losses would do, I just don't see happening. So I like the Notre Dame cover and the Tulsa cover as my leg threes. They're my absolute favorites. And then there's one more leg three I like. Maybe we get the hat trick. Of course, the goal is not to close all these. It would be nice, but we just need to close enough. So 2 out of 3 on leg threes would be dandy. Obviously, all 3 would be nice, but I try and save my best metrics. USF and Tulane, I like the under on that one. If you're wondering why I like them more than some of the others, it's just because USF, while there's teams that are about even with them on the under, Tulane's also high on the over. And looking at the line, I just feel like people are probably going to slam the over. So USF Tulane is my other favorite, my last leg three. So the USF under, the Tulsa cover, and the Notre Dame cover are my 3 leg threes. And then I plugged in the leg twos. You can see the leg twos I plugged in. And then we're going to have a couple other leg twos, like I said, contingent on some leg one games, or we just plug them in. Like I said, I want to bore you guys and scroll all the way up here. You can plug it in for any leg one that lost. Like I said, I've been doing a job of going up and closing every sequence we ever played. And as it stands right now, we're around 64 units. That's accounting for the 7-unit loss we just took. And Saturday's our money day. So that's where we'll see a 10 to 15 unit swing. And I'm thinking it'll be for the positive. So we got 11 plays. I like them. Again, we don't need to hit them all. It's important to hit the high metric ones. But we want to close out the sequences, and I think we do a good job. So I just wanted to cover that and, just make sure everybody saw the exact unit increment I'm doing and where I'm plugging it in for which loss. Doesn't matter where you plug it in as long as it's a leg 2 for a leg 3, etc. But I think we have a good day tomorrow. Technically today. And I'm also going to go into the elimination chamber, which is technically also today. And if there's any odds that aren't ridiculously stacked, I'll point them out. The problem is some matches are so obvious that it's going to be hard. But the elimination match itself, the elimination chamber match, we might get decent odds. And I always get someone that's in the final 2, so I think we'll do a good job there. But so anyone that wants to just, I did really good with the Rumble, and I did SummerSlam on my old channel that got shut down. I did good there. So I think we'll do good again. We'll see what happens. But I'll definitely do a chamber video, and we'll definitely be doing WrestleMania. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.